Seriously. Those people of Machakos County are human beings. If that land was now determined completely that belongs to East African Portland, then they are given some time to relocate and to be able to be given a time to appeal. And what was so ironical, Mr. Speaker, which really shocks a lot of people, is that the next day, after those houses were demolished, there was an advertisement of sale of that land. Shame on them. You know, these are Kenyans. And if we don't stand strong and fight for our Kenyans, we might as well fold and go home. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let us hear the chair Lance.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to make my comments on the statement sought by Senator Samson Cherargei on the interdiction of teachers who sought transfers from Northeastern region. Honorable Speaker, just as it is in the substance of this particular statement, every Kenyan or every person has a right to a good working environment, Honorable Speaker. And the reasons why transfer are allowed, and it is not illegal to seek for a transfer, Honorable Speaker, is if the conditions under which you are working are not very favorable, Honorable Speaker. So you cannot punish somebody, Honorable Speaker, because they have sought a transfer and because they feel that the conditions that they are working at are not very favorable, Honorable Speaker. More to it, Honorable Speaker, a teacher is a person that has been tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that we get a good generation in the coming days, Honorable Speaker. We entrust our children with the teachers, Honorable Speaker. So if the person that has been entrusted to taking care of our kids is not comfortable wherever they are working, Honorable Speaker, it is then very ridiculous that we would sack that person just because he or she sought to move to a place that they feel that the working conditions are better, Honorable Speaker. So I actually implore on the Committee on Education that is led by the Senator for Muranga, Honorable Speaker, to ensure that they unearth and get justice for these particular teachers, Honorable Speaker. It was very inhumane, Honorable Speaker, that when they went to TSC to get answers to these particular questions, Honorable Speaker, they were tear gassed by policemen, Honorable Speaker. I don't think that that is what we should be able to do with such an integral part of our workforce, Honorable Speaker, as the teachers, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Wamatinga Wahome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this the statement on the demolition of the quotas in Mavoko. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is indeed very, very sad that in the 21st century, where we are in digital era, where people are issued with title deeds, which is equivalent to legal tender, that someone would be able to issue title deed in a country where we have DCI, in a country where we have functional systems, in a country where the banks even would give people money to construct houses, in a country where county governments will give licenses to construct and lay levies on the construction, and yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, they would come and demolish the houses. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is indeed very, very sad that you will conduct a search from the office of registrar. You will be given a clean bill of health. You have no other resort than to assume that the land is clean, only for you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to be told that the title deed was illegally allocated. Mr. Speaker, sir, we must as a government, we must as a house, and we must as elected leadership, we must stand up and put measures and framework in place to ensure that there is no person in this country who will lose money in the hands of unscrupulous business people who collaborate with government officials to defraud Kenyans of their money. Mr. Speaker, sir, it does not matter which side of the government or the political divide we are in. We are all Kenyans, and we must stand up to count that Kenyans cannot continue losing money year in, year out, Mr. Speaker, sir. In this time and age of digitalization, we will demand that the registrar of land, Mr. Speaker, sir, ascertain that all title deeds that held by Kenyans are indeed issued by the government, and therefore they are legal tenders and valid, and nobody is going to lose money, Mr. Speaker. As I sit down, Mr. Speaker, sir,
Senator Joe Nyutu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to make much contribution about the statements sought relating to teachers and their welfare, Mr. Speaker, because by so doing, I could be prejudiced because we are supposed to deal with this matter at Education Committee. But Mr. Speaker, let me say, relating to the statement sought by Senator Cheralgei, that it is evil, it's immoral, Mr. Speaker, for a teacher to be interdicted because they were not able to survive in a place that is prone to insecurity, Mr. Speaker. So I do not want to go into the nitty-gritties about the same because this will be explained at the committee level, Mr. Speaker, by TSC. But allow me to comment on the statement sought by Senator Hamida relating to evictions and demolitions in Machakos, Mr. Speaker. We all condemn any inhuman demolitions, Mr. Speaker. But then, as leaders, we must also take responsibility. The county governments are charged with the responsibility of approving building plans, Mr. Speaker. They should be going round through the necessary, the relevant departments and seeing the developments made, Mr. Speaker. It was very sad for me to see the governor for Machakos crying, Mr. Speaker. Well, this is the same person that was supposed to see that things were going wrong, even as these buildings were being put up. And these residents should have been advised, Mr. Speaker, by the county government of Machakos, that what was happening, that these land...
Sorry, your time is up. Senator Mudigi Alexander.
Asante Bwana Spika. Nashukuru kwa sababu leo kumesoma statement nyingi sana na kamati nyingi wenyekiti walikuwa hapa, haswa mwenyekiti wa elimu na wale wengine. Na pia leo statement zile zimesomwa nyingi zilikuwa ya elimu karibu 5. Inakuwa ni maajabu mwalimu bila elimu katika nchi yetu ya Kenya ama nchi nyingi mambo ya elimu haiwezi kuendelea vizuri kwa sababu unakuta mtu amesaliwa kwa kipindi ya miaka 8 anaanza kufundishwa. Kama kuna mtu anafanya kazi nzuri ni mtu anaitwa mwalimu, ni wa primary, ni wa secondary, ni wa aina gani, hata kama anafunza upande gani. Kwa hiyo naomba kutoka leo mwenyekiti wa elimu uende uangalie kwa nini kila wakati yote watu wanaelimika juu ya elimu. Unakuta mwalimu anafanya kazi kwa kipindi, unakuta saa nyingine hata akienda retire alipo pesa zake, unakuta hata hakuna maruvuruvu, lakini unakuta saa nyingine yeye mwenyewe anaenda hata kuangalia mtihani. Na ndio tuweze kupunguza mambo ya kuharibu mitihani ama kuwa na njia zile asifai mpaka mwalimu mambo yake awe akiangaliwa. Kutoka zamani kwa kila mwaka kuna elimu ya secondary na primary, lakini unakuta wanaamini kuharibu pesa yao. Kwa hiyo naomba wakienda kuangalia mambo ya elimu kuweze kuangaliwa vizuri vile wataweza kuwa wakienda kufanya kuangalia mtihani waweze kulipa pesa zao ama walipwe mbele ama kuwe na wanaongea na mwanagani na wale watu wa neki. Kwa hiyo naomba kamati iende ichunguze hiyo mambo ya walimu kabisa. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Gloria Roba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to add my voice on the statement that has been sought by Senator Mudigi on the welfare of the teachers who are engaged in the upcoming exams in terms of administering and marking the national exams. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that for the first time, I think in the Senate, we are having an opportunity to play oversight on matters that have not yet occurred. Instead of sitting and waiting for teachers to complain that they have not been paid after they have administered the exams and they have marked the exams, for the first time I think the Senate now can play oversight. So I support the request by Senator Mudigi in terms of having the transparency of those contracts and the engagement of those teachers. So